All right, so here we are. So today we're going to be reviewing for the first test, which is on Friday. So let's dive right in. So I just want you guys to have a good idea of how I want you to complete the test, since, you know, it's different nowadays. I can't physically go around the classroom and, answer your questions one by one. Then I think this may be the best course of options right now. So let's begin. Where's the mouse? Okay. So this first part, and this is in no particular order because I actually made sure that what you're going to see here in the presentation is not in the same order as it's going to come in the test. So this is just, I organized this review from what I thought was the easiest to what I think is the hardest. So let's start with the easy stuff. So in this one, all I want you to do is identify each sentence as simple or progressive, okay? Once you've identified whether or not the sentence is simple or progressive, then I want you to identify which tense this the sentence is in. So first, simple or progressive, and then you go and you identify it as past, present, or future. Where's the mouse pointer? There it is. So this first sentence, many young people cried because they were feeling stressed out. Well, we have A and B, and we have two blanks here, okay? So as I said, the first thing you have to do is identify as simple or progressive. Let's take a look at these verbs. Many young people cried because they were feeling stressed out. How do we know whether or not this is simple or progressive? If anybody has any idea, you can turn on your microphone. That would be nice. And you can answer my question. I will repeat. How do we identify this as simple or progressive? Well, first of all, we have to identify the verbs, okay? So there are a couple of verbs here. The sentence ends with a phrasal verb. Don't worry about the phrasal verbs just yet. There's a verb here, cried, which ends with ed. And then over here, they were feeling. So we have a be verb and a main verb with ing. So what happens when we have a main verb that ends with ing? Does that make it simple or does that make it progressive? I can't see the chat because the only thing I can see right now is the presentation. So if whoever wrote could turn on your microphone, that would be nice.
The ing identified that is progressive.
Exactly right. Remember that if in the sentence you find just one instance of it being progressive, the entire sentence should be labeled as progressive, okay? I know that cried just ends with ed, so it would be simple, and stressed would also be simple, but the fact that we have were feeling automatically makes the sentence progressive, okay? So now we know for the first blank, we are gonna mark either the letter A, progressive, or just write the word progressive. And now let's identify the tense. Is this past, present, or future?
Past.
Past.
All right. And how do we know it's past? Because the verb does what?
Cried.
Because the verb is in past tense.
Right.
Exactly right. It describes an action that already took place. They cried. That means they're not crying now. They're not going to cry. It says they already cried because they were feeling this way. They're not currently feeling this way, I hope. Okay? So once you see this part on the test, I want you to ask yourself these two questions that you see on the bottom of the test. Excuse me, on the bottom of the slide. Once you read the instructions, you should notice there are two things to look for. What are they? Of course, as is stated, I think, rather clearly in the instructions, first identify a simple or progressive, and then you identify the tense as past, present, or future. That is why there's two blanks in the sample item. Let's continue to the next part. So I want you to complete these exercises for a little extra brain power so you can look like that dude over there. So take a look at those 5 sentences. Tell me in 2 steps, are they simple or progressive? And then are these past, present, or future? All right, so I'm going to give you 5 minutes. It's 7:42. I'm going to keep messing around with my coffee and milk. I'm going to be off camera for just a minute. I'll be right back. Okay. It's been almost 5 minutes. So I'm going to ask, does anybody know the answer to any of these? Let's say number one.
Number one is progressive future.
Exactly right. We have a will be form of the progressive future. And if you forget that will automatically implies future, there's also an indicator of time in the sentence, which is the word tomorrow. Okay? Good. Very good. Number two.
Simple past.
Simple past, exactly right. We have the main verb learned, which ends with ed. That's automatically past. Very good. And it's simple because it's not progressive, because it ends with ed instead of ing. Number three.
Simple
present.
present.
All right, both of you are correct. We have the only verb we have here is the be verb is, which functions as the main verb here. And remember that am, are, or is are the be verbs that we use in the present tense, though they can be used in the future, but there's nothing to indicate future in this time. So yes, this is simple present. Number four, I was recording an ASMR video. I was recording an ASMR
Progressive
video.
past.
Exactly right. We have the be verb was, which is in the past tense, and then we have record with ing. Number five, my dad will be voting in the upcoming elections.
Progressive future.
Exactly right. We have once again, oh, I realized I did the same one. Will be voting. We have the will be form of the future with main verb vote ending with ing. So yes. So to recap, the first one is future progressive. The second one is simple past. Third one is simple present. Fourth is past progressive. And five is progressive future. All right, good job. Somebody has their microphone on still. Could you please mute it? All right. No, it's still on. I'm gonna have to. All right, we're back. All right, so going back to the presentation here. This is the same thing, except I'm asking you to do it de un cantazo instead of doing it in 2 steps. And this was actually, this wasn't done on purpose. I was making this test over a couple of days and over a few days. And it wasn't until yesterday when I actually finished it that I realized, okay, this is the same part. So anyways, make sure that you guys do well in that first part and identifying both the progressive or the simple and the tense, because we're basically doing the same thing here. So basically identify the tense in each of the following sentences: simple or progressive, past, present, or future. Same thing we're asking for in the other one. So Melissa and Eric just got engaged. We have main verb engage, which ends with a D. Excuse me. So since we see it ends with a D, we can automatically assume that this is past. And of course, it's simple because it doesn't end with ing. So basically, what you need to do to identify all these is to look for the verbs. Are they in the past, present, or future? Does the verb end with ing or ed? Remember, that's how you can tell the past. If it doesn't end with ing or ed, it may be present. If it has will or is going to, then it's most likely future. So following that same mindset from the previous exercises. Let's go into the second set of exercises and take another 5 minutes. So it's 7:51. I'll be checking back at 7:55, 7:56. Okay? So just make sure you guys identify these. Okay, I know it's a little quick, but just checking in. Does anybody know the answer to number 1?
It's future progressive.
All right, exactly. We have will be, which is automatically future, and then leaving, which is ing, future progressive. Very good. Number 2.
The
I
simple
think it's present.
No te entendí.
simple present.
Simple present, exactly right. We have 2 people, Paola and Manuel. We have main verb are, which is a be verb as well. And yes, exactly right. And that would be simple present. Number 3, Elizabeth has curly hair.
Simple present as well.
Because we have the main verb have, which is conjugated with the S form, makes it into has. Okay, good. Number 4, Raquel smiled when she saw the puppy.
Simple past.
Simple past, exactly right. Smiled ends with the, which identifies that as past and simple. And then we have another simple past verb, which is saw, which is the past form of see. Good. And finally, Javier is going to win the race.
Present progressive.
You could argue that it's present progressive. You could also if you look at the form of the verbs here, you're gonna see something else. I know we have is and we have win, but we also have something in between.
Going.
The going to. Okay? What happens when we have
future.
going to? Exactly. And this is future simple. Why is it future simple? You know, ing does end with, excuse me, going does end with ing, but going to, you have to look at the main verb. What is Javier going to do? Javier is going to win, okay? The main verb of that sentence is win. So we have win in just its base form. If we were to say Javier is going to be winning, then we could say that's progressive. But since the ing isn't in the main verb in the future tense, this would be simple future. We're going to repasar esto un poquito más soon. I just need to keep going through the slides. So recapping, number 1 is future progressive. Number 2 is simple present. Number 3 is simple present. Number 4 is simple past. And number 5 is simple future. All right, so now we have basically un lleno blanco. Complete the sentences below with the phrasal verbs in the box. Each phrasal verb may only be used one time. Conjugate the phrasal verb according to the verb tense of each sentence. Okay, let's take a look at this sample sentence. I think the students will blank that these examples won't be part of the test. We have figure out, wake up, and call back. Which one do you think fits best inside of this blank?
Figure it out.
Exactly right. And that's my way of telling you, okay, all these examples that are in this review, none of those are going to be in the test. So, okay. So yeah, what you have to do is fill in the blanks with the correct phrasal verb, as we just did right now. Most phrasal verbs will only fit well in one sentence. So read carefully and make sure to conjugate the verb if necessary. Okay? And what do I mean by conjugate? Well, if this sentence were in the past tense and you would need, then you might need to change the verb to fit with the sentence. You might add ed or ing. Not all of them you have to do that. But let's take a look at these practice exercises so you can get a better grasp of what you have to do. So these are 5 sentences, and those are 5 phrasal verbs: stand up, find out, read through, jump on, fill in. So I'm going to give you, once again, a couple of minutes. Son las 59. I'll check in at 8:04. And I just realized one thing. Okay, I'm going to do one little edit here. This is better. Okay, so lo voy a dar un la. In this example, only number 5, do you have to conjugate the verb? And 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can put the verb just as it's written. So you won't have to conjugate 4 of these. And the test is going to be a different number, but yeah, you won't have to conjugate all of them. Okay. Anybody know the answer to number 1?
Fill in.
All right, so please make sure you fill in all the blanks on the test. Very good. What about number 2?
Jump on.
I like Super Mario because all you do is jump on the enemies. Good. Number 3, and I hope you guys understood this reference.
Stand up.
All right, will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Okay. Number 4, I listen to audiobooks when I can't find the time to read through a novel.
Read
And
through.
this is true, actually. And number 5, some dumb couple burned down the forest and a gender real party. We just found out. Exactly.
Found out.
So instead of using find out, we had to conjugate this specific verb into its past tense form by using this irregular verb. So, like I said, not all the examples are going to have verbs that you need to conjugate, but those that you do need to conjugate, you need to make sure that you do it. Because if you were to just, that last one, if you were just to leave it as find out, then entonces ahí perderías medio punto, or like punto y medio, or whatever the amount is. You wouldn't get the whole thing wrong. You would just get half the score of that right answer. All right. And so in this part, you're going to have the original sentence up here with the verb that you need to conjugate. You need to remember the conjugation rules for each tense. And when you do that, you're going to really easily fill in these blanks. Okay. So let's take a look at this. It says complete the sentences in all simple future and future progressive forms. Use the following table as a reference. The students and the main verb study for the upcoming test. So what you're going to do is what's supposed to be in this blank, you're going to write it here and write it here and here and here and here. So the students blank study for the upcoming test in the simple future will form. How do we do the simple future will form? Remember, it's really simple. All you have to do is take will and take the main verb within the parentheses. That's it. So this would be will study. Okay? And this one, the going to form, we're going to do basically the same thing, except we also have to add one thing. What is it?
Are going to.
Are
Exactly right. So we have to add the correct be verb before going, and then we can just add going to and the main verb within the parentheses. So in this one would be are going to study. So I'm looking for those 4 words in that second blank here. And now for the future progressive base form. Remember that the base form is just the be verb and the main verb ending with ing. So,
will be studying. No, will be no.
exacto, porque will be sería un poquito más adelante. So you just answered this third one over here.
Yeah.
But the base form is just the be verb and studying. So what was the be verb we used here?
Are going to.
Exactly. So the be verb are, we're going to put it here in the base form. So the students are studying for the upcoming test. Okay. Now for the next, we already have this one. So we have the students are studying, the students will be studying over here, and now this one over here, going to be. How do we complete? Yeah, go ahead. Hello? Well, I don't know what happened there. So yeah, we have to once again.
Oh, you know?
Oh wait, ahora escuché a 2 personas. I don't know who's who, so just go for it. Anyways, so we're gonna have to do the same thing we did with the going to.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Ahora sí. I think there may be lag because there doesn't seem to be congruence between when I speak and whenever this other person speaks. Anyways, so yeah, so for this going to be form, we're going to do the same thing we did for the simple future going to, which is we're going to add the be verb before going, which we already know the be verb is
Are.
Exactly. So it's are going to be, and then we just have to add ing to that main verb. So it would be are going to be
Studying.
There you go. So we basically got this done. If you remember the order that these blanks are in, you're not going to have an issue. But you have to remember that order because this table is going to be blank during the exam. You're not going to have these keywords here. Okay? It's going to be more like here. Notice that even though there are 3 blanks in simple, only 2 of them are numbered. That's because I was able to hide this blank here, but I wasn't able to do it here. Anyways, so complete these sentences in all forms of the future tense, simple and progressive. The first sentence is Coralis and Maribel, parentheses, arrive by dinner time. Do 2 simple forms and 3 progressive forms. And then we be in London for the next 2 years. 2 simple forms and 3 progressive forms. If you forget, you can access this presentation on Canvas. You can go to the previous slide and you can look at the keywords here. Remember that these are not going to be in here, and the test you're going to see something more like this. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention it. You are probably already doing it. I'm just going to give you a minute or two because we are kind of running low on time, and I do have something else I want to talk about. So let's do the simple forms of part 1, excuse me, of example 1. So Corrales and Maribel arrive. How do we do this first one?
Will arrive.
Boom, there you go. Number 2.
Are going to arrive.
There you go.
Or
Let's
going
skip.
to arrive.
Exactly right. Let's skip to part 2 and continue with the simple ones only. We be in London for the next 2 years.
We are going to be.
Wouldn't that be?
Will be.
Okay. We will be in London, and then we are
We-
going to be in London. Exactly right. So, para repetir, in the second item, the one in London for the next 2 years, the first one will be we will be in London, and the second one is we are going to be in London. Okay? Now let's go for the progressive forms of Corrales and Maribel arrived by dinner time. Remember that the first one, this one number 3, we take the regular be verb and then we just add ing to the main verb.
Are arriving.
Boom, ahí está. Number 4 is the, what was it going to? Exactly. So Corrales and Maribel, be verb.
Will be arriving.
What will be arriving would be number 5, which is fine. But remember, this is the number 4, which is this one here. You can see my mouse pointer. So remember, we put a.
Are going to be arriving.
There you go. So we have Corrales and Maribel will arrive. Corrales and Maribel are going to arrive. Number 3, Corrales and Maribel are arriving. Number 4, Corrales and Maribel are going to be arriving. And number 5, Corrales and Maribel will be arriving. Si no me equivoco, exacto. And then the progressive of we be in London for the next 2 years. So igualmente, be verb and the main verb that ends with ing. Remember that the be verb is based on whether or not this is plural. So since it is plural, we're going to use yeah, maybe B was a bad choice. Anyways.
We will be.
No, remember that we already did the simple of this sentence, so we have to go into the progressive. So remember that the progressive would be verb plus the main verb with ing. Yeah, I'm now realizing that this might not have been a good verb. Okay, and let me actually do something here. Okay. So, and this over here, we stay in London for the next 2 years. That would be, we are
Staying.
there you go. The next one, it would be the going to form. So there's 5 words here. We have going to be.
Are going to be
There you go.
staying.
Exactly right. And then the last one would be,
We will be staying.
there you go. I'm just gonna, okay. So after now, let me just, we will stay. We are going to stay. And this one was are staying. Are going to be staying and will be staying. Okay, this is the same thing. Will arrive, are going to arrive. This is are arriving, are going to be up. And finally, will be arriving. Okay, I took the time to type these out because I want you to really get this right. Because there's going to be more than 2 in the test, okay? So each blank here is going to be worth 1 point, okay? So basically, each item is going to be worth 5 points. And there's going to be more than 2, so yeah. Anyways, guys, so like I said, I do have the test ready. And I wanted to, where was it? Okay. So I haven't published this yet. So basically, this is the, these are the instructions for the test. So if you should be able to see this, I'm still presenting. Okay, good. So the first test is going to be available on Friday during class time. I'm just going to publish it and you can access it. You're going to have 1 hour to complete the test. You can have additional time if you need. This will be provided during my office hours, which, the link is in the homepage. I do need you to download a program. It's called Adobe Acrobat Reader DC. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you the file of the test in PDF form. And then with Adobe Acrobat Reader DC, you can actually fill it in. I'm going to show you, this is not the test that we're going to be taking. This is an old test for another class. If you, si lo pueden ver aquí, dice English Basic Level 1, Inglés 3101. So this is not your test. Anyways, if you follow my mouse pointer, you're going to see that there's these options over here to the right. There's this option here that says fill and sign. You click it. It gives you 2 options, fill, sign, and send, or get others to sign. You're going to click here, fill, sign, and send. Now what this does is that it allows you to click on the blanks and fill in the information. All right, so, and like I said, this is not your test, so it doesn't matter what I write here. So basically, yeah, you can just click atop of every blank and it will give you the option to just start writing. Okay, so that's pretty simple. Okay, all you have to do is click and then type, and then when you're ready, you can just click on the next blank, and that's it. Whatever you wrote there is going to be saved there. Once you're finished, all you have to do is go click here in File, and you can click Save As. And then, of course, you add where you want to save it. What I want you to do is I want you to write your name. So let's say this is Jose's test. So Jose Cruz, test 1. Okay. And then you just click save, and that's it. And of course, when you are finished with that, you can, of course, upload it right here in assignments test number 1. Now, this is an option for people who have computers, people who have the ability to do this on a computer. If you do not have a computer and you use instead a mobile device, let's say a tablet or a phone, please let me know immediately so I can tell you an alternative. I already showed you how to use Adobe Acrobat Reader. I'm going to record a little video showing you how to do it so you can, keep referencing it. Of course, you complete the test, you save your work. Please don't forget to save, porque si cierran and then you click don't save, you will have wasted your time because it's not going to, of course, save it. And of course, during the test, please let me know if you have any questions or encounter any issues. So basically, we're going to log into the same Google Meet that we do for class. And you're going to be connected and you're going to be doing the test at the same time as class is happening. Remember that the test is only going to be available during that time. Si acaso se acaba el tiempo de clase and you need a little more time, me avisa, and you can just join me during my professional hour, and then you can continue the test. So this will be published a little bit later today. I'm going to record that video after class ends so you can remember how to do Acrobat. Ahora, yo sé que me pasó un poquito, so I apologize for taking up more time. ¿Hay alguien que no tenga computadora, that you need, that you only use phone or tablet? If so, please let me know. Send me an email. Remember that my email is just my name.last name sin número @upr.edu. So you can just send me a message through Canvas. You can do it here in the inbox. Anyways, no quiero quitarle más de su tiempo. So vamos a dejarlo ahí por hoy. Por lo menos cubrí todo lo que quería cubrir. If you have more questions about how to complete the test, don't worry about it. I'm going to record that video during my office hours, and I'll make it available to you later today. No voy a dejarlo pasar. Yo sé que esto es importante. So, any questions or comments? Yes, it's going to be on Friday. So, yes, we are going to have to come back and meet, como estamos ahora mismo, on Friday.
You said this module is going to be available later today?
Yes, these instructions that I have here, I'm just going to publish them a little bit later.
All right, thank you.
Whatever. You know what? I just published it. Lo publico ahora mismo so you can have it ready desde ahora. I'm just going to add it to, where is it? There it is. And there you go. Aquí mismo está. You can access it at any point. If you need to download Adobe, you can just click right here, and it's going to bring you to the link where you can download it for your computer. So you can choose your operating system, you choose the language, the version, boom. If you run into any issues, please let me know, okay, guys? Yo sé que estoy quitándole mucho tiempo, so if there's anything else you need to know, me avisan. Si no, I'll see you later. Angeli, Alondra, you guys still there?
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
All right, cuídense.